Hey guys, this is Helhades. It's going to be a champion overview of Gul'dan, as he's kind of quickly being known in the community. But we call him Mossy, MB, Mossbeard. So I have not yet fused this guy, but I've seen tons of people that have. So and the reason why I haven't fused this guy yet, and I'll show you quickly, I do not have a second Umbral. I've only got my Umbral that I built up, so I need to either grind her up, or perhaps I think they've just launched this Summon Rush event, but it's behind, what, 3k? I guess I could do that. So I don't have an Umbral yet, and that's going to be my kind of, what's stopping me. I'm definitely not going to feed my Umbral, and that's what I wanted to start the video with. So I mentioned it in the video yesterday. There's two epics that I would not feed if I didn't have a spare one, because I think potentially, as it is at this moment in time, I think potentially they're more use to me than this guy, potentially. But anyway, so I'm not going to use my account today. We have been able to be fortunate enough to borrow someone else's, someone in my Discord group. He's actually in Gods and Legends, Kalari. So Kalari's an endgame player. He fused this guy in about the first 5 minutes. And was kind enough to say, why don't you jump on my account and show him off? So what I'm going to start with, and here he is. This is how Kalari's got him built, and also how he's got him booked. So he's booked out his A3. He got quite lucky. He got the cooldown here. He's got no cooldown here, and you probably don't want this cooldown here, guys. If you can help it, you do not want this cooldown. And then I suppose you could get damage here, but it's not really that worthwhile either. For me, I don't know if you want to book this guy at all. I actually think you don't need to book him at all if you get him. And a lot of people have been saying he's not that strong. We're going to try and find it out today, but I don't think he needs books at all. Do you want to book this ability? Probably not, because I think his best use is to have this cleanse on a free turn cycle, so you can actually use him in clan boss without having to do crazy speeds on him. So I think that stays as a free turn, and it'll be solid. This ability here, the more you cool this down, the more often you get poisoned. And from what I'm seeing so far, he hurts you a lot. So, yeah, I don't think you need books here. And, I mean, he uses this so rarely, because if you actually book this stuff out, free turn, potentially 2 turn, he very rarely will then use his A1, which means you don't get these continuous heals that often. So let's just run over his kit again quickly then. So A1, throws out, attacks 2 times, throws out a continuous heal buff for all allies when they've got the poison on them. He puts poison on you with his A3, puts 3 ticks of poison on. He's also got 100% chance if you book him to do a block buffs on all enemies, which potentially gives him some very nice utility for faction wars and for arena. Albeit, I think faction wars might be his best spot, which is never a good thing to say. And then lastly, we got this cleanse, which is probably his strongest ability in terms of giving you some sort of consistent advantage in your team, but mainly for clan boss. So it's also good for the arena. But yeah, anyway, let's get into how we've got him. We haven't got him built yet, so I need to build him up. Do we even need to build him up? I guess we should. So he's generally going to be a support champion for arena, clan boss, dungeons, faction wars, but probably predominantly I'd say clan boss and faction wars. So you kind of want to go a fairly standard clan boss build like this. Now you could, and we will for the test here, you could bring him down into this. This is a really good ability to have on anyone that's pairing up with him. So increases the damage for each debuff on this champion. So when he throws out those poisons on you, he throws out 3 poisons. Each one's going to help you boost your damage by 4%. So you're actually going to get a full stack of 12% extra damage for doing this. It's worth noting though, that there's a good chance you're not going to be at full HP when you attack when you use this guy. So this one is one I'd normally take. it's still probably worth taking if you're going to run him in certain compositions, like if you've got a Valkyrie in your team, or if you're running lifesteal gear. But think about it. You take poison damage, then you attack. So if you're not running a shield-based setup, this will now be null and void to you. And a lot of us use this on our clan boss runs. So bear that in mind. I don't think there's much use in the support tree here. I guess we are throwing out potentially block buffs on our enemy, and that is useful for faction wars. I would take support tree if I was running them in faction wars. I would do the accuracy kind of line. But I think for what we're doing today, we're probably going to want to do defensive based setup, like a standard defense based setup here for clan boss or dungeons. So that's how I'd build him out. We've got him built here at the moment to do a spider kind of showcase. I mean, if this is his best thing that he does, I don't know that he's that worthwhile. But this is Kalari's account. Kalari has got he did this as one of the first people, I think, that did it in the whole game, whole server. So basically, you've got an auto composition here that can absolutely nuke the spider. Full auto. So Bad L gives us more damage in the same way that Gul'dan does. So both of those buffers, we get decreased defense and weaken on, and then Septimus comes in and does 5.5 million damage, sorry, which is a one shot on the spider. We can just see that again, full auto. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nutty. Poisons go out. Bad L has a passive that when you put poisons on, you do more damage. So does this guy. And then, bam. 10 or 11 seconds that's going to be. Now, is that enough to make me want him? Probably not, because if you think about the type of gear we need on a Septimus to do that, yeah, I mean, he's got crazy savage gear on with crit. We're talking, what we're talking here, 320% crit damage to get that done, 4.2k attack. It's nutty gear, yeah? Nutty gear that maybe 0.1% of the player base might have access to. I don't know. But that all comes from this A3 where you put poisons on yourself. When those poisons are on, you do 7.5% more damage for every poison debuff that's on you. So that's all pretty cool. All of this is cool. He's got a very unique kit, but I don't really know where the average person uses him. I can't work out in my head where would I put this guy. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to gear him out differently now, get him into Clan Boss and show you what he could be for you in Clan Boss. Okay, so I've literally just thrown a few extra pieces of gear on him. Brought his speed down so that he can be our cleanser in our Clan Boss team. Now, this isn't my account, so I'm not going to go into crazy speed tuning here. I just want to try and test him out a little bit. Now, this account does have a Valkyrie. And with a Valkyrie, I think he can be pretty useful. So we've got high defense Valkyrie here. I'll show you the Clan Boss setup that Kalari runs as it is. He's just trying around some fun concepts, actually. So he runs this team here at the moment, trying to get Mountain King to do some crazy damage. Where is he? Where are you, Kalari? So he's just done his 2 key here with this setup, which is pretty nuts as it is, actually. All I'm going to do then, so we've got a decreased attack champion here who's kind of cleansing for us. I'm just going to take her. I'm just going to do this. We do get block debuffs though, so it might block him. Maybe you have to swap him out as well. Who have we got for a decreased attack champion here? See if we've got an old town sitting around somewhere. Could be. No. Must have a Tyrell. See how he's built. He's built too fast. I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm just going to run it anyway. I think he could be pretty fun in a speed team. But the question is, so he's going to give you an extra 22.5% damage when his poisons are up. Now, is that worth more than a fifth person that's just doing their own damage? That's the question. Because he also hurts you. He hurts you for quite a lot of damage. I'm just going to run this full auto. Actually, we've got block debuffs from Sifi. But that's interesting, actually. So he poisons through the block debuffs. That's interesting. So when you're running like a high-end team like this, with, you know, a big shield from a Valkyrie, we've got heals coming out every turn from a Sifi, and then everyone else is just kind of doing more damage, I feel like I can get it. But then if you're this level of team anyway, do you even need him? If you're a mid-game player and you don't have the crazy shield and the passive healing and, you know, all of these crazy legendaries kicking in, I don't feel like he's that good. I feel like there's a lot better in your team that's going to help you deal with it, help you deal with the content in the game. So, you know, the only way I can see that you'd want to put him into your team because you're missing somebody at the moment is if you don't have a cleanse champion. If you don't have a cleanse will give you a lot more damage on the clan boss as you're going through the content than if you don't have it, basically. That's it, guys. I'm struggling with this champion. I'm struggling to decide in my head, where do I honestly think I would use him for anybody's account? And although he's quirky and he's got a really fun kit, and, you know, if all he's useful for is that kind of spider, that spider work, then I don't know. I think I'd rather get the Umbral. I think I'd rather get the Umbral. Anyway, we're going to shoot through to the end of this, and then we're going to try him in a couple of other areas. Well, I don't have this tuned up at all or anything like that. We've not got any poisonous in here. Well, it's not going to be a big run. I don't even care about that. What I'm interested in is, visually, I'm just kind of looking as we've been going through here. How much damage are we taking? And I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of damage to heal up every turn. So you're taking like a 7-odd K hit before you start your turn. A bit more, actually, about 7.5K hit before you start your turn. So unless you are running lifesteal gear or a Valkyrie, I feel like he is a liability to your team. It's a lot to overheal, because you think about it, it always comes at the start of your turn. So if you take a big hit, then you get your turn, you just need to have massive amounts of HP to kind of get through that. And even then, even if you've got massive HP, the poisons tick for more, because poisons tick on your HP level. So I don't get him, guys. For me, I don't know. Is it a pass? I think it might just... Maybe it's not a pass, because if you could get a legendary, you should, because you never know when they're going to change them. My favourite legendary, or one of them actually, I've got two which have sat in my vault for months. Foley and Mashald. Foley was a fusion champion months ago, maybe 8 months ago or something. Sat in my vault for the first 7 months of that fusion since I got him. I've recently got him out, and he's one of the best arena champions in the game right now. Mashald, I got a dupe, and they sat in my vault for a long time. He was the worst legendary in the game. They buffed him recently, and now he's one of the best. So should you get him? Maybe you should, but if you are short on resources, I would say get an Umbral. Where else could we use him then? Let's try him. I guess we could try him in the arena. Let me just kind of change gear around a little bit again. Okay, we've pushed him up to 226 speed. I have to be careful here because Kalari is in plat. He's high-end arena. Where is he sitting right now? Fourth. Actually, I don't even want to fight because it's a bit unfair for me to lose him any points using this champion. I kind of want to just show off what this could do, but I shouldn't do it. Basically, the only utility I can see in the arena is that he throws out his block buffs before a team like a Valkyrie team go, or, you know, one of the teams like a Sifi team. Does she cleanse it off anyway? I'm not even sure. But you throw your block buffs out, and at the same time you throw out your increased damage to your team, and then you go in and throw a nuke. I guess that could be useful. But I'd rather have someone that threw out a decreased defense and then we nuke anyway. So I don't know, guys. I'm struggling to find this guy any sort of home at all. Yeah, on dragons, I don't. I think I'm going to cut it short. I just cannot seem to think in my head, and I'm sure there'll be someone that comes out of a really cool, interesting idea for this guy. But for me, good fusion in terms of we've got all the champions already in the game. The champions that are coming through as part of the fusion are useful, even if you don't want the legendary. So for free-to-play players, you can get yourself a few good rares or maybe a couple of good epics. But the actual champion, interesting kit, but I can't see in the game right now where I would use him. Let me know your thoughts below. If anyone is using, other than this kind of, I've shaved 3 or 4 seconds off my spider run, which is pretty cool, but I don't know, guys. What do you reckon? Give us a comment below. Has anyone found a home for this guy? Anyone think he's actually cool and I'm missing something here? But for me, interesting champion, but I don't know where to use him.